Gabriel, it's great to talk to you. Great to see you. I hope you've been doing well.
Yeah, great to see you, Logan. How you been, man?
Not too bad. I've watched the first 4 episodes of the show so far, so I've not seen too much of you in the series just yet, but I'm excited to see more of your portrayal moving forward. I guess my first question for you, and something that I've just been asking a lot of cast members today, is what was your familiarity level with the game before you joined this project?
It was complete familiarity, as I played both parts 1 and 2 back to back in the 2.5 months ramping up towards production. So I knew everything. Yeah.
Okay, great. Because that's interesting, because I know some other cast members were told intentionally not to play it. So were they comfortable with you jumping in and playing it that way?
I mean, they weren't going to stop me because I kind of already started before Craig called me and said I had the gig, because I had always been wanting to play it. I just hadn't for some reason hadn't gotten around to it. But of course, you have to be living under a boulder to not have heard of the game of the year. Both games won Game of the Year. And so I already had a head start on it, and I wasn't going to stop because Craig told me to. So just kept playing it.
One thing that I think is interesting about your character in the show is that there are a handful of actors from the game that have obviously come back here in the show, but they're playing different roles. Jeffrey Pierce, who plays Tommy in the game, is in the show as well. Did you happen to cross over with him at all while filming? And if so, did you get to talk to Tommy about Tommy as a character with him, and kind of get to know about his perception of the character and things like that?
Well, the extent of my relationship with Jeffrey Pierce is all on Instagram and Twitter. We just constantly are talking back and forth. He's been very supportive of me in the role. I am a huge fan of his and a huge admirer of what he was able to accomplish with the role. He's just great, man. He just I wish I was there with him. We crossed like ships in the night. We didn't see each other, but he gave me he sent me a message. He was like, man, they freaking love you up there. And and I was like, I love them too. And they sure as heck love you. So, it was just a big love fest, man. We're just, I think both of us have so much in common with Tommy that it feels so natural that we're able just to talk about him in a very relaxed way. And there wasn't a lot of pointers, so to speak. It was really just handing over the baby and trusting me with it.
Yeah, I think that was something that kind of dawned on me as I was watching it. As I see Jeffrey Pierce show up, and I'm like, oh, there he is, and then I started thinking about you, and I'm like, wait, they're never really going to cross paths in this, are they? So I was curious if you guys had ever met at any point like that. Can you talk about what it's been like working with Pedro in the show? Because obviously he plays your brother Joel. You guys have a close relationship, obviously, as characters, but it seems, but with all the behind the scenes footage we've seen coming out and the pictures that you guys have been posting, it seems like you and Pedro quickly built up a great rapport with one another. I'm just curious what it's been like working with him.
Well, it was kind of instant. We came together, got on FaceTime, started talking about our families. I learned that he was he was raised in San Antonio, and neighboring town to Austin, where I was born and raised. I learned and immediately that was kind of the switch that was thrown that helped us feel this immediate common ground, that we are very familiar with where these characters come from, having been raised there ourselves. And we worked on some things. I recorded some language for him from passage of a book that he gave me so that he can work on his voice, because he wanted to kind of bring Joel's voice towards mine. We didn't want to go too heavy with kind of a Texas accent, which I actually have naturally, but we wanted to find like a little middle ground. And but as far as being brothers and knowing what that relationship is, I called on my own experience with my own little brother. We're only 22 months apart, so we were always butting heads, and you see a lot of that in the first episode. And he's just a phenomenal actor, and he's got a great energy. He's very kind of airy in the way he is. He's very loose and very playful. And then when it comes time, everything just gets tightened up and we do the job. So we connected very quickly, and it was very natural.
That's great to hear. I'm with Comicbook.com, so I, of course, I have to ask you one Marvel question, specifically the Ghost Rider. We've seen a lot lately of characters or of actors coming back who portrayed previous characters. I'm thinking Charlie Cox, who's now coming back to play Daredevil. I know you're not going to tell me if you've talked to Marvel or anything like that, obviously, but At your point in your career, do you feel like there's anything left unsaid with Ghost Rider? And is that still something that you're hoping to return to one day if the phone was to ring and it was Marvel?
I think that the way we left it was it would definitely feel like there's a lot more to say. And I love the response. Everyone loved Robbie and they love the character. And if we only ever did those 10 episodes and nothing else, I would feel very complete in what we were able to do, to bring awareness to the character, to show people the Mexican-American hero, the first on television, I believe, Mexican-American superhero. I know that's said a lot. I think people forget about 2016 when we did that with Robbie sometimes. But he's a wonderful character, and I love him, and I'd absolutely be happy to continue. But yeah, no, he's there's so many places you can go, because in the comics he became an Avenger. He's now the All Rider, which is pretty awesome when you think about it. It's kind of and
Marvel's starting to get more into the mystic and the dark.
Absolutely, and that was fully our intention going into the Ghost Rider show when we were originally going to do it, and I'm happy to see that starting to take shape, and he's become quite an important piece in publishing, in Marvel publishing. So if he were to appear again, then he absolutely deserves it,
for sure.
Whether it's me or not. Yeah.
Well, I know there's a lot of fans, myself included, who are crossing our fingers and hoping that you come back to that role someday. I guess we'll see what happens. For now, though, Last of Us has been great. I'm very much looking forward to seeing more of your portrayal as Tommy in the upcoming episodes. You've done a great job with this show, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, Logan. Thank you.